Well, guys and gals, today we got Mama's car. It's a 2015 Subaru Crosstrek. We're doing a tune-up, oil filter, tune-up, air filter, and I think we're doing a tire rotation too. Yep, so we might as well put this sucker on the rack. I kind of forgot about the tire rotation. Dang it. That's why she said, yep. That's why I was thinking that I need to put it on the rack. Anyway, so before I do all that, we're gonna go ahead and switch the plugs and all right here. And the reason why is so I have easier access. Up there is slightly cramped because somebody has a lot of stuff in the way. It is what it is. Now, normally I wouldn't show this, Mama. Yeah, you're gonna see. So I was trying to get access to the plugs. These have coil packs, which you can't see because I didn't get a light out. What? Where? It just... Are you hiding? Light. Come here, boy. I don't know where he went. He's always missing. Are you back here? Huh? Oh, he's a good light. I don't know. Yellow Jacket, get out here. Okay, well, I'll do it with a flashlight, and we'll just, or we're doing to shimmy it that way. All right, so here, we'll just use this little fella. And anyway, it looks like they have about a 10mm nut. See that fella? Right. Right there. They're on the side of the block. This is what they call a boxer motor, and that's because of the way the pistons move. It's, you know, like kind of straight out like a boxer. I'm not a boxer. I'm a wrestler. So anyway, the other side's exactly like that too, and it's down there. It looks a little more tightish than this side, so we're gonna start with the easier side. But I wanted to show you just one little kind of thing here. See, this is your air filter, okay? Doesn't look too bad until, oh my God. Until something's been living in there, and I'm sure Mommy's gonna be extremely happy about that. Yep, that's an air box with restriction. It's got nastiness in it, you know. And this car gets driven. Like, this is her daily driver for real. But we got an air filter for it, so, yep, see all that? That's probably the reason why it hasn't been, I feel like it's lost a lot of power. And she hasn't noticed it because honestly, whenever you drive your car every day, you probably don't notice it. It's gradually lost power. And by the time it's sitting there falling on its face, you know, that kind of stuff. Then your husband says, hey honey, it's time for a tune-up. Because I'll drive this sucker and it seems like sometimes it does really good. And the other times it just seems to go, and it only has 95,000 miles. It just hit 95,000. So it definitely shouldn't run like that. And yeah, so we're replacing the air filter. Clean all that junk out of there. That's nastiness, dude. You don't want that, all that foolishness in there. I gotta find my light too. So I'm going to clean this out here. Just blow it out with the air gun. And then we're gonna take those things out one by one. These have coil packs, so you won't have to buy plug wires. So that's a good thing. And hopefully the bolt stays in there. I'll let you know. I think we're going to use hand tools because it looks like it's a tight area right in here. Which reminds me, the old Harbinese Freight, we're going to go to that again. They sell this really narrow type feller like this. Look how, I think I got the extendified version. Unless I lost it again. And I probably did. Oh, there he is. This is for your whole Torx. The only thing is, man, it don't have the locking head, which I, you know, like lock this piece, you know. So we're going to try this feller because usually these factory plugs, they are tight like a tiger. Yes. So anyway, we're going to get a 10mm on there, Try that. And clean all that garbage out. But the first thing you're going to want to do is take your air lid off, unplug this, and there's a little wire that hooks right here. This guy, slide him off of there, okay? Slide that stuff out of your way. If you want, you can take it off all the way back here, but you don't need to. Just get your access right there. You're going to be absolutely fine. Tuck this out of the way. Don't forget where you tuck that, or else, you might have fun trying to find it again. But I'm going to find my light, and we're going to come right back to it, all right? Give me a few minutes. I've already learned like 12 things. One, go ahead and take the air box out. There's a bolt hiding on the inside right there. And there's one right down, is it here? Here. Okay. The third thing I found out was the bolts for the coils, they absolutely will fall out, hit the floor, and you'll never find them. So make sure you grab a hold of them. Lastly, but not leastly, this thing's plugs wasn't horrible. Again, they're my favorite brand. They're the Ninja plugs. I think it's how you say it. And they aren't real horrible. These are what they call laser iridiums or something. Stinking expensive, just to say the least of it. And another thing is, I told you to take out the air box, right? It's just right here, and it's really not that bad. These things are not 5/8 plugs. These are deep 14 millimeter. Yep. So that's a new one on me. And I hope I can get the passenger side because, or driver's side, usually it's always the opposite way. There's some little, Japanese, Korean, whatever, wherever these things are made, making fun of us because we always make the passenger side the harder side. I'll guarantee you, I always start on the passenger side that way so I can feel like relief whenever I get to the driver's side, right? They did the exact opposite. It is tighter than tree bark over here. I don't know how. It's going to be exciting. Another thing, you know how we do the 3H trick hose, on the end of the spark plug to thread him in and thread him out? Yep, you guessed it, won't work on these. You know why? It's too big. So instead you need a 5/16 piece of hose. Works beautifully. And believe me, you're going to want it. Unless you have skinny, tiny alien fingers, you're not getting it. So seeing the plugs and seeing the air filter, I am convinced 100% it was the air filter being so restricted. I am convinced, unless the fuel filter weighs 12 pounds and it's somewhere, it looks funny. It's a funny, weird looking fuel filter. The good thing is I've lost it, so, we'll have to spend 3 days looking for it. I put it in the back seat, I think. Maybe, probably, hopefully. Ha ha ha. Yeah. So I hope the oil filter's underneath the car, not underneath the hood somewhere hidden really well. I might have to hit the old Googles on it. So, I don't know. That or we'll just look. We'll probably just look for, an hour or two, then we'll do it. But if this thing looks like it did on their computer, yep, it sure is a funky looking deal. Look at this. Who designed, what the are you just, what the for real? What the heck is that? Wind chimes, not a big deal. But yeah, that's what's going on with that. So, stay. We're replacing the factory filter. I think it's factory with a good Woolwich one. Since Mama quit street racing, we don't put the K&N in there. But you never know, she may get back into it. Anyway, so give yourself some more room. Get rid of that box. I didn't think I'd have to, but old Dad's hands are a little, And And the good thing is, I don't think you can cross these up, the coils, because there's not enough length of wire. I'm just saying, they won't reach, you know. You can get the first one to reach to the back hole, but not the back hole to reach to the front hole. So I necessarily wouldn't worry about crossing them like plug wires. I think it's impossible. Anyway, we're gonna button this side back up, and then we're gonna curse a lot once I figure out how to get this driver's side, not passenger, yeah. We're gonna button up the passenger, put the air fill tray back in it, go back over here, and probably say some curse words off camera on this dirty mother Fletcher. And then we're gonna look for a fuel filter. Why do it? Why can't I just hurry up and hit this lottery already? Dang it. All right, give me a few minutes and we'll make some magic happen, all right? Well, we got the spark plugs in, and I'm gonna tell you, this side over here, it actually wasn't that bad. What I did is I actually added this in between. This is a wobble in extension. You're gonna want one of those, trust me. It makes life way more gooder. And the biggest pain in the butt plug that I thought, yeah, that didn't sound right. Anyway, the hardest plug, let's just say that, the hardest spark plug, let's just cut all the plugs out of it, just spark plug, is that back one right there. Well, this right here lets you get it like this. And let me just tell you something. The factory knew that they were going to make that a burger. You have to bend that rubber boot a good bit to even get the spark plug boot out of there with the coil pack on it. Why? Why not just, you know, you're an engineer, bro. I just said it, didn't I? An engineer. They're not going to work on it, so they don't care. This side, gravy train. This side actually wasn't too bad. Like I say, this is the combo you're going to want for that plug. You have to have a deep 14 millimeter spark plug, 3-inch extension, and a swivel. That right there is the magic combo to that. Now, I will tell you this. I did not unthread the plug all the way. I waited till I got like what I thought was about half-ish, where I could twist it out real good with this extension and all this stuff on it. Then I pushed this onto it, the 5/16 on the end of the spark plug, and I threaded it out like that. So you're going to want you about a 2 to 3 inch piece of 5/16 for this. Also, I don't think I could have done it without these things right here. You're going to need a really slim head, ratchetish kind of thing. That was for that bolt down there, for the air box. Anyway, this honestly wasn't as horrible as I thought it was going to be. Thank God. And I'm pretty happy about that. So, yeah. Now we have to find the fuel filter. So I'm going to hit the Googles. I think I know where it's at. I think it's under a plastic cover underneath midway in the car. I think. I don't know. I'm just totally speculating because there's plastic covers underneath this burger. We're going to try to get it without like raising this sucker on the rack, because honestly, on these Subarus, man, I don't know where to put the jacks at. I don't know if you can put them on the pinch welds or not. I have no idea. Does anybody know? I'm serious. I don't know. And this is Mama's car. If it was mine, I'd just put it on the pinch wheels and lift it, because, you know, it's going to send it, you know. But anyway, I wanted to show you what tools you could expect to use when doing a tune-up like this. We're going to put them right there until, you know, a few minutes from now, whenever I start doing the fuel filtering. So, yep. I didn't remove anything else in this whole area to do the spark plugs on this side. Nothing. So this side was actually a little bit easier if you use that swivel. I don't know if a 5/8 with a factory swivel on it does any better. The 3/8 extension with a wobble in. That's a new little puppy next door, making all kind of racket. And he's not happy. He wants somebody to play with him. Anyway, so we're going to try to find the fuel filter tray. And I've already rotated the tires, so that's a plus. And that'll wrap this booger up. So give us a few minutes, find a fuel filter. Also, I forgot to mention this. If you pull out these spark plug boots and they have oil on the end of them, or oil coming out where the spark plugs go, your valve cover gasket is leaking internally. They have little O-rings that fit in the cylinder heads. The O-ring's bad. Guess what? You got another YouTube gold staring at you. Gratefully, this one is not leaking. So we're going to hit the love button on that one, because granted, they don't look horrible, but that's just more YouTube gold we don't really feel like doing today. And yeah, so this thing's going to perform a heck of a lot better. I am 100% sure of it, because one, the fuel filter, we don't even know where it is, but we know it's got one. At least O'Reilly says it does, and I believe him. And the air filter that had the critter living in it. That thing, let me just show you again. Like this was really, it couldn't have been breathing well at all. It couldn't have been, there's no way. And it was struggling for air, had to been. So, it actually did, pretty good. I mean, not greatish, but it felt like it just couldn't, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's find the fuel filter, then we'll wrap this thing up, all right? Give me a few minutes. Well, after like 40 minutes of Google search and checking everywhere on this, I have to say half of Google, all of Google is correct. Riley's computer, your computer was actually wrong on this one. Now there are Subaru models that have that filter that I lost. Oh, there it is. So I looked, and there's two different motors, not for this particular car, but for Subarus in general, like the Legacy and all that kind of stuff. Generally, they have it right in here-ish, where the fuel filter is, you know, it has two rubber lines on it, and it's just like a flathead screwdriver or something, or maybe even a Phillips, I don't know. But the fuel filter actually resides in the tank as part of the fuel pump system. Yep, it's pretty common in you know, non-American and some American cars. And that's exactly where it's at. So we'll be taking that back and getting something else, I'm sure, because we got to see what we, you know, tore up on the I reckon. So, but anyway, if you have a 2015 Crosstrek with this, I think it's 2.0, you don't have a serviceable fuel filter. And if you really want to break down the engine, the fuel pump, to replace said filter, it's underneath the rear seat. And I can't remember which one they said it was. I believe they said it was on the passenger side. There's two things in here, right? One's a fuel tank filter or something, and the other one is part of the fuel pump. I don't know. I couldn't find anything concrete. The only thing I found was 2014 Crosstreks don't have them, and 2016 does not have them. So that kind of, I hear a mobile junkyard. Yep, there he goes. Anyway, so yeah, it does not have a fuel filter, and I'm gonna stamp that approved, because there's nothing here. There's nothing here. I don't see it. These are rubber lines. That's your fuel filter. That's your fuel lines, I think. Yep, fuel lines. And that run, yep, right through the firewall. There's nothing there, boys. There's nothing. So I'm gonna say 100% certainty, if it had one, it would have been somewhere in here-ish, and it does not have one. It runs straight to your fuel rail, and then it just disappears underneath the intake somewheres. So that it is what it is. Hopefully I just saved you guys a heck of a lot of time. That cost me a heck of a lot of time looking for this invisible fuel filter. So that's going to wrap up this video. Hopefully this was good for you fellas. I actually learned a heck of a lot on this one as far as how to get these spark plugs out. I was really intimidated because I'm telling you, man, there is no room over here on this passenger driver side. None. In fact, if I'd have had the swivel over on this passenger side, it'd probably made things slightly easier. Maybe not. Maybe I could have used an electric zing tool to it, you know. One that don't have a whole lot of torquages, because you don't want to, you know, you don't want to over torque these a bit. Just get them, you know, I don't know if you want a half an ooga dooga or not on them. So be careful how many ooga doogas you do. These are long thread. Look how long these suckers were. I mean, that's, whew. Always compare your plugs as well. Make sure that you got the right shank on them, you know. Now, you know, just to make sure. Got too long a shank, it might do some damage. So, I'm just saying. But that's going to wrap this one up. I hope it helped you guys. It helped me out a heck of a lot. Not being so afraid to work on this car. Well, no, because I still just, it's above my my expertise level, you know, on a lot of things I feel. But anyway, that's how you change your plugs, and we're gonna call that a wrap, guys and gals. Make sure you check your air filter boxes for critters. Like I say, that one right there, I'm 100% sure that was this thing's problem. 100% sure. But you guys have a good one. I appreciate every one of you hitting like, subscribe, and sharing. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next time here on Right Turn Garage TV. Y'all have a great weekend.